there's your marker right there, and you bring it all the way over here, and then where those 9 cars are, and then all the way back to the front. That's 2 acres. Not too shabby, huh?
No, there's definitely something we could do with this for sure. And I appreciate you. I appreciate you going and venturing
It's
out into the
clear.
tall
That's
grass.
what I was trying to tell you.
Right.
Well, no, it ain't that tall. It's been taller. But what I was trying to tell you is that it's clear. All there's some is debris, a little bit of debris in the front, Any developer, they'd have that all clear in less than half a day. That'd be chump change to them. I've seen them clear worse. This is nothing. This is just a little mowing and some debris to clean up in a single wide.
Okay.
And with utilities and all that stuff, I just don't see the issue. Department of Development, all they want is their taxes. That's the way I look at it.
No, and I understand, but I could also understand where that 150 feet of road frontage might be, important, especially, if they were to try to put a road down, the middle, say, and then put, RV parks on both sides of that road. I could maybe see that. Um,
Right. And make me like a privacy fence or something. I don't know what the hell. But here, then you just saw the whole property. Now the other 3.79. Whoo, God, that's a whole nother ball game over there.
right.
That Jeremy's got it all junked out. And our neighbor, he's a millionaire. He done built him a big old barn, got a swimming pool, got a beautiful home, and probably 7,500 acres over there. And then this next door neighbor, look what all he's got. Jeez. But it's all on a hill. It's on a partial, a little bit of an incline, but there's no flooding or anything that
Right.
happens over here. And like I said, in the summertime, the grass is so freaking green. It's beautiful. I try to take care of it, but the sun don't give a shit. Obviously, you can see how he doesn't give a shit.
And so those cars and those trucks and those, I guess, the boats that are over there, is that on the 2 acre property line or is that on the 3 acre property line?
No, so this first line that I told you, remember a long time ago, I told you these 10 things, they're going to have to be all pulled forward to the other side, to the 3.79.
Okay.
See, so right here where this old beat up golf cart is,
Right.
everything would have to go. He would have to sit here and pull everything. See the pole?
Right.
You see the pole right there?
I see it.
There's your line.
Wait,
so
which one? I think I saw 2
this.
poles there. I didn't know which one it was.
Yeah, he would have to pull everything over to the other side of this driveway. And then that's the other side of the 3.79. I got to be careful. There's copperheads and shit. Okay. See, that's the land. That's Mark's brother's land right there. All of this.
Uh-huh.
All the way back. Yeah, so that tract is skinny. But it's not as skinny as you thought.
Right.
Yeah, so you get all of this from where I'm standing all the way to the fence.
Okay.
All the way to the green tree, all the way back, all the way to the front of the street. That's a lot.
Right.
That is a lot. I mean, to me, it's a lot. To me, I looked at it this way. If I was a developer, I'd put a freaking little street down here, and I'd put me about $300,000 or $500,000 homes. I mean, if I were a developer and I had all kinds of money and strings to pull and people that I knew and networking and all that, I'd be like, dang, I could take this land right here and chop it up a little bit, put a small community on it or an RV park, and make some money.
Well, I appreciate you.
I mean, who are your neighbors going to be? Who your neighbor's going to just all that land. That's it. Well, I appreciate you taking the time and listening and walking with me, and now you know what you're dealing with.
Absolutely. And
okay, you have a good day.
Thank you as well, Julie. I'm gonna get on this.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna see about scheduling a time. I'll probably have one of my guys, go out there and see it, and then we're gonna get the ball rolling. To get financing and everything in
I'll
place.
let you know tomorrow what the email, or they might shoot you an email. I don't know, but if they shoot me one, it'll say yay or nay. Okay.
Fantastic. I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Okay. Have a good day.
You too. Take care, Julie. Take care, Mark.
Okay. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. These are real situations that people are in. There's a real business being conducted here. Real conversations. Hopefully, we were able to capture some of it on the YouTube channel. Unfortunately, it looks like somebody reported the YouTube live got cut around 24 minutes, which is unfortunate. We've been streaming for some time now. But look, I'm going to continue to make some calls and continue to just keep doing business. I encourage everybody, get after it today. Do what it is you guys got to get done. If you want to get set up and you want to start with a system, that can start generating you leads so that you can talk to more motivated sellers, send me a DM. This is my only account on Discord. I will never send you a random friend request from an account that's not in a mutual server with you, being REI Rev, and ask you about REI Rev and how your experience is. We know this is number one. We don't need to ask you if you think it's number one, right? So I'm going to keep making some calls, but hopefully, this has been helpful for you to see. I think we lost, some people, but I can only imagine, it's boring. It can be boring, but it's real. It is real. So good stuff. I'm gonna have to get on with an agent now. I still got to go through all of these people. I probably want to be. Pardon me. More and more people are responding while I'm on these calls, telling me that they want to sell. I might need to bring somebody in my business, start calling at this point. So, first order of business, I got to get on the phone with an agent out there immediately. I have an agreement with them for 105, and I think that it might be able to go for like 139 as is. But I want to get on the phone with an agent, somebody that has a listing before, I say anything. Because it might be worth more. This one just got listed. Let me see when. Price reduction. 2.7 price reduction. On market for 175. I gotta see where that's at. Okay, that's off the main road. There's not really anything here. 1 acre for 139. This one's got some road frontage. This one has 143 days on market. let's give some agents some calls. You know, let's call some people. This lady Stacy, I don't know what other options there are. Check, see what's sold. I mean, I try to reach this guy Cody. Let's try Cody. Looks like this one went for 179 contingent. Ended up selling. Let's try and reach out. Oh, he might have called me back. Different number.
Thank you for calling REI Real Estate. We are so glad you called. We apologize for missing your phone call, but please...
I don't want an apology. I want an answer.
Thank you for calling REI Real Estate. We are so glad you called. We apologize for missing...
2.8 acres went for 179. Let's call it 180. 180 divided by 2.8 times 2 is 128. So yeah, 129 900 times 0.92 minus 105. I mean, there might be like 15K to make on this deal, right? Straight up. I'm gonna try to call this other guy who had a recent sale. Oh, no, this is a different Michael.
This is Selena. Can I help you?
Hey, is Michael there?
I don't think he's available at this time, but I can leave a message.
Okay. I'm trying to get on the phone with Michael, or maybe somebody, you know, that might know something about this lot that your brokerage sold. It's 1328 Palmyra Road in Palmer, Texas. I'm looking at potentially listing 2 acres not far from this one, and I wanted to speak with, you know, somebody that might be able to help me. So I figure, you know, I'd reach out to Michael because he just sold this one. It's 1.4 acres out there. Do you think you could have him give me a call back?
Yeah, what was your name?
Yeah, my name is John Johnson.
Okay, what's a good callback number?
It's 301 941 7470.
Okay, I'll pass your information along.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye. Hey, what was your name? Oh, ciao. Let's try this other number here and see if this is Michael. Pardon me. Hello?
Hi, can you hear me?
Hi, yeah, is Michael there?
Let me check if he's available. May I have your name?
Yeah, this is John.
Sean, okay. Just in case the call got disconnected, your phone number is 301-941-7470.
That's right.
Okay. And the reason of the call, sorry, so I can forward it to him?
Yeah, I'm looking to list some property out in Palmer, Texas.
So, okay. John, I'm going to place you on hold. Let me check if Michael is available. Just stay on the line, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
I want to skate. We got work to do. Alright, I'm gonna hang up and I'm gonna find somebody else. We don't have unlimited time to be spending, on hold. We gotta be calling other people. We gotta talk to other people. This guy George, another Highview real estate. I guess they're popular out here. Let's see if we can get on with George.
Thank you for calling Highview Real Estate. We are so glad you called. We apologize for missing your phone call, but please leave your name.
This is crazy. I mean, I'm calling multiple people from this brokerage, and they're not picking up the phone. Someone's got to pick up the phone. Man, when I hear the wheels, bro, something gets me.
Thank you for calling Highview Real Estate. We are so...
I'm going to Google the buying agent as well to see, hey, I saw you helped someone buy this property, and I want to see if it was an investor or, what the deal was.
Hello?
Hey, Amelia, this is John. I wanted to reach out to you because I saw it looks like you represented a buyer for some land. It was 2.5 acres in Palmer, Texas, on Palmer Road. I wanted to know, was that an investor that ended up purchasing that, or was it somebody that wanted to build a home there?
On Palmyra?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was a property owner.
Okay. Do you work with investors as well that are looking to buy land out in that area?
Well, I work with people that want to buy a property, period. It can be an investor or a property owner. What do you got?
I've got 2 acres, and this is on FM 813. And so,
Okay.
I mean, do you also list properties, or are you more on the buying side?
Well, I'm a listing agent and a buying agent, so I do both.
Okay. Well, I wanted to reach out and see maybe if you might be willing to list this with me. Now, in Palmer...
Why don't you send me the information of the property and tell me how much you want for it? Then I'll let some of my clients know first, and then I'll let you know if I want to list it.
Okay. Is this a good number to send some info to?
Yes. Okay.
All right. Well, I'll send you the info.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye. Yeah, I don't think she's going to be the type of person that I'd want to work with. The attitude was no bueno. No bueno. Hey, Julie. Oh, hung up. I'm gonna keep calling, see if I can get anybody else on the phone. Yeah, I tried to call Tim. This guy Tim didn't pick up last night. I mean, I gotta get somebody on the phone now, right? This is like the way I prioritize my action is like, okay, what's the next step to get me closest to
Terra Real Estate, Dustin.
Dustin? I was looking for Tim. Is Tim there?
He's not here in the office, but I can give you his contact information.
That'd be helpful. Okay, I'm ready.
Yeah, let me pull it up. 214. 980.
980.
9037.
9037. Are you an agent too?
I'm the broker.
Oh, you're the broker. Okay. Well, shoot. I mean, you picked up the phone. I mean, I'm happy to work with you if you're looking for a listing. I mean, I was reaching out to Tim because he had a listing not far from this one. It was an acre lot. Do you deal with land as well, or are you mostly on the residential side?
No, I'm mostly, Tim and I both are mostly land and commercial, and then, we've got a lot of agents that do a lot of residential.
Okay. Well, I've got 2 acres that I'm looking to list in Palmer, and it's not all too far from this acre lot that you two sold in Waxahachie. So I wanted to see if maybe you all might be interested in listing this with me.
Certainly. You want to give me do you have a PID ID or something on it?
Yeah, I can get you the ID. I've got an address in front of me.
Yeah, that'll work too if you got an address.
Yeah, so the address is 1346 FM 813 West in Palmer, Texas.
All right, let me get it pulled up.
Sure thing.
You said 1346?
Yep, 1346. And so it's a 2-acre tract, and there's like a 3.7 acre tract next to it. Have you worked with wholesalers in the past?
Yeah, I have worked with wholesalers.
Okay, so I have an agreement with the seller, but I don't just wholesale. Have you done a novation before?
No, you'd have to tell me a little bit about. I've never worked with a wholesaler on listing something for him. I've only bought.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Well, essentially, I have an agreement to sell or to purchase, with the seller. The difference between, normal wholesale, usually those are like off-market cash assignments, to an investor. But a part of my agreement with the seller is, I can novate my agreement, which is essentially me replacing my agreement to sell with a third-party purchase agreement, which is usually like a retail, Trek agreement or a standard Texas retail agreement. And so the only difference is, the price stays the same, right? But I can, use a different agreement. And so they're on board with that. They are aware, that I'm marketing the property to bring a buyer. And so what I do is I get attorney-in-fact signed with the seller that will allow me to contract with an agent to list the property and accept an offer from the MLS. The seller still shows up for the closing and signs off on all the closing documents, no problem. They are just, out of the equation, for negotiations and all that other stuff that comes with selling.
Okay. How long do you have a contract with them for?
So I do minimum 90 business days, but I've got, great relationship with the seller. So that's not a problem, if we need to extend. Though.
Extend, that's what.
Yeah,
And then what are you asking for that lot?
So I would want to kind of lean on you because you've obviously got more experience in that area than I do, and I know this is a bit of a, unique situation, being that it's right there on a main road, that FM road. So, from your experience in you being, the agent out there and the broker out there, do you think that a lot, on a main road is going to be a little bit more desirable than say one, on an off road?
It really depends. So when you're going on a residential standpoint, obviously the main road is a little less desirable. You have more noise. You have people that worry about their kids, all that
Right.
kind of, so, if somebody wanted to build a house over there, not so much desirable, but, not the end of the world. It doesn't just ruin your value. And then the next question is what, the bigger thing that'll affect your value is what's that property look like? From the aerial, it looks like it's got a bunch of cars in the back. You got some trees in the front, which is good, but it looks like there could be some old sheds or something. How much of this needs to be cleaned up?
Right.
I can look at floodplain. Have you checked floodplain? I know that area there has several creeks and ponds that carry water. Those kind of things may affect us more than SM 813 per se.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a look at the flood map here, but I don't believe that it's in a floodplain. But of course, it's always good to double check here. So let me pull up that flood map.
Yeah. And then do you have just the 2 acres, or do you have the acreage next to it as well, the 3.79?
So we're looking at just the 2 acres right now. It's a little bit of a probate process. They're planning on moving from the 2 acres that they live on. They've got a tiny home on that 2 acres. And they're planning on moving just right next door because that was like mom's property, and they're trying to move and figure that whole thing out. So what I'd like to do is see, if we could get this listed, figure out what the market's going to tell us in terms of a price point. Now, I mean, I've looked at the other listings in the area. Pardon me, don't know what's got me.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm seeing, there's the only other listing that I see that's 2 acres is listed for $175. And I mean, I understand, I do real estate full time. I think that that's probably a little bit high. And of course, we always want to price any sort of listing to sell. And so, I mean, I was thinking that maybe we want to be closer to maybe 140. And you tell me, based off of your opinion.
I mean, yeah, if you ask me what's a real market value for this thing, I just sold a very similar 2 acre lot. It was already platted. I don't know if this one's platted. I got to get look at it and see what the legal description looks like. If it's got to be platted, that's going to be another hiccup for you, because anybody who buys it before they can get water meter or anything to it, they're going to have to go through the plat process. I'm trying to get
So
my map exited.
We were just actually going through this today. They went to sit down with Ellis County, and they, brought me in on the meeting. And so they do have a plat. Pardon me, I'm getting a call here. I don't know who this is. Could I put you on a brief hold real quick?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, 1 second here. Hello?
Yellow.
This is John. How can I help you?
Yellow. Yes, John, I just got a text that was sent to my wife about my property on Ewing Drive.
Oh, okay.
That's what I was calling about. Text was asked what
I appreciate you giving me a call. Was it something that you were considering selling?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
I said I appreciate you giving me a call. Hopefully you can hear me a little bit better here. But we were reaching out. I mean, was it something you were considering selling?
Oh, yes.
Okay. Well, let me get it pulled up in front of me here, and we can take a look at it. I was actually on the other line. Is this the best number to reach you on?
Yeah, you can call me back at this number.
Okay, and what was your name?
Alonzo.
Alonzo, pleasure to meet you, Alonzo. My name is John Johnson. Alonzo,
right,
give me just about 5-10 minutes to wrap up that other call, and I'll call you right back.
Okay, then.
All right, thank you. That's what I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen. You still there?
Yes, sir.
Awesome, wonderful. And what was your name?
Dustin Jordan.
Dustin. My name is John. Pleasure to meet you.
Hey, John.
So Dustin, sorry, I got that call come in here. I had to switch off there. What were you saying?
Yeah, I'd certainly be up for listening for you if that's what you want to do. I don't. Do you get permission from them to put out signs? Is this
Everything? I mean, marketing complete.
Okay.
I mean, they're aware. They don't want to. They've got too much stuff going on. They can't add this to their
Yeah.
plate, right? So that's really the convenience that I can offer when doing that type of deal. Essentially, I will become your client, and any negotiation that we have to do back and forth with third-party purchasers, we can do amongst ourselves.
Right.
And so, oh, in regards to the plat, so they went to the county today to figure out, what exactly they need from planning and zoning to do what they're looking to do, because they want to get a permit to put, that mobile home on the lot right beside it. And while they were there, we also reviewed, the 2-acre lot to figure out, okay, well, what's really going on there. And so with the 2-acre lot, they need 150 feet of road frontage in order to get approved for a permit. Now, you're going to know way more about what that process looks like and how that's going to affect the value of a property out there than I would. And so, knowing that it has just 100 feet, there were a couple options that were presented. We could try to go and get the extra 50 feet from the neighbor, which is an option. It is possible. But you and I both know, negotiating easements and acreage is a coin toss. There's no guarantee in that, right?
Yeah.
So we're gonna have to figure something out on that side. But as is, do we think that there's still some value in this lot? I know that it looks like a more narrow lot. She got out there today and showed me on the camera, how big it is and all that kind of thing. And I mean, I think that there's definitely some opportunity there. I think it might be a specific type of investor, maybe somebody that wants to do an RV park, that could see value in that. But I'm open, to hearing what your thoughts are.
So several RV parks, I can tell you pretty quick, we won't be able to get an RV park in there. The plat is one, so our biggest obstacle here is going to be the plat.
Okay.
And the county has been very, very hell-bent on not approving unless you meet their requirements. So there's very few properties getting that variance. This could be one, but it being a property or tract that has a parent tract or a family member attached to it, it may be more difficult to get it done. Certainly, your value comes from it being platted or not.
Okay.
Does it have a water meter already on it? That'll help if it does.
Yes, they have utilities because they got that tiny home that is there, so it does have access. It's got a water hookup and everything there.
Do you know if they have a water meter to that property, or does it come off the parent tract next door?
I can ask. I can get that information for you.
That'll be important too. The biggest deal here is the platting, because no one can use it for anything other than just parking cars and stuff on unless it's platted. The county won't issue a permit for a house or a building or an improvement,
right,
until that plat's knocked out. So, if you said, hey, a platted lot, I'd say, yeah, 140 is probably right. The unplatted lot that we know we're going to run into a problem on with the road frontage, we might be looking at $100,000 best. So, because somebody's going to have to buy it knowing the risk that, they're going to have to take it to get platted.
Right.
The other thought would be, if the family owns the space next door, to get that 50 foot, the easiest approach would be to get 50 foot from the family, but it sounds like that's just not an option yet until probate happens.
It is. So they're kind of going a different route. They're trying to do the affidavit of heirship route, to get the executor to have full say. But my whole thing is, if they take, so apparently there is a plat, and she's going through the process of getting it stamped. It has to be stamped. It's not really like an official plat, but she's got something. And so the county told her to call up the person that did that plat. So she's looking at getting the surveyor out there and doing this extra step. Cool.
Yeah.
So the whole thing is, if there's only 250 feet of road frontage total, combined off all those, the two lots there.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah, that's what we're looking at. So if they took 50 feet from the other one, and put, maybe 150 on one, that'd leave the other one with what, 200?
Yeah.
So there might be an opportunity to do that.
Yeah.
The question then is going to be, okay, well, what would be the best case for this lot? Say we could get the plat, say we could, get, documentation and everything to prove it. What would somebody look at this lot and want to do with it?
Yeah, I think the highest and best use on this property in that particular location is going to be a residence of some type. If it doesn't have deed restrictions, it could go mobile home. Somebody could again do a tiny home. It's very narrow. Somebody could certainly build a house on it, but at 100 foot, you're going to have. Sorry, when they go back to plat, they're going to lose 10 foot on each side for easement. So they're really only going to have 80 feet to build a house. Inside the build line. So, they could build a house, certainly. 80 foot happens all the time. You've got lots in town that are, pretty narrow. But it's not going to be a guy who wants to build, a 4,500 square foot house like some of the surrounding properties, which, that really brings your value and it's higher. So as I see it, is if you can get it platted, you could probably, I think without doubt, we could go get 144 platted. Because we can find a mobile home user, somebody, no deed restrictions, somebody will snag it. If we can't get it platted, that may not be in the cards. We're going to need somebody who can buy it and maybe is willing to wait and try to buy the larger tract next to it.
Right.
When that comes available, just somebody willing to park money in it and hold and wait.
And then that, you think we're probably going to be looking closer to 100,000.
I think you're 175 to 100 grand. I mean, I'd tell you right now, for 75 grand, I'll give you 75 grand, buy it and take the risk. But at 100 grand, I got to really think about it. Go make meetings, talk to the county. Hey, if the neighboring tract goes to somebody else, can I get it? Now I've got to go do some things to sort it out.
Right.
So that's kind of my 2 cents on it. Is your best way to do it, get it platted, because it's gonna. Surveyor's going to charge you about $3,500 to come out, get it platted, and push it through the county. That process is going to take anywhere from best case scenario 6 weeks to 3 months, depending on the log, the surveyor's time and the county. And then you've got a very marketable piece of property to sell.
Do you think that we could start marketing it now while we go through that process for getting it platted?
We can sell it to somebody unplatted, so don't think we can't. We can definitely move it. It's just we're going to have to make that disclosure prior to any construction. Property needs to be platted before permits can be issued.
Right.
Have conversations with the county. So we can certainly market it as a piece of property. I just don't want. I want it to be clear. Don't have the same expectations of 140. Somebody's going to have to buy it and is taking a gamble with it.
Right. And then my next thing is going to be, our intention is to get it platted, right? So, once it would be sold and closed, it should come with that plat. Though, could we maybe market it? I know we could, but I'd like to start marketing the property now and try to get, financing together now, try to get a buyer together now, while we're going through that process. And of course, I'm huge on disclosures, big on transparency. So always disclose, let them know, what the process is going to look like, that yes, we intend to give this to you platted and we're going through that process, but, set the expectation that this is going to take a little bit of time, but, line up that financing.
Yeah, we can do that too. And just keep in mind that period may be, we market it. Let's say somebody comes in a week, we get an offer we like, they snatch it up, we turn around and start moving on it in that direction. If we market it as we will plat it, like you will get a platted lot. We have, again, probably about 3 months, best case scenario, to really get it through. So we'll need to be prepared for that in an extended period of time. And then 2, what happens if we aren't successful platting? Now do we go back? Just preparing for two scenarios there. Both were quite a bit of time, and then would need to remarket. So just plan for that accordingly. And if you've got a 90-day contract with them, you might go ahead and try to extend that and go, hey, I'm very happy, I want to do this, but we may need to go ahead and extend this for 180 so I can get this platted in the prior to close.
Yeah, because I mean, they went to the county today and they presented what they thought was a plat map, but I guess it doesn't have some stamp, so they're going to try to get that, and that, like you said, is going to take a little bit of time, but that ball's already rolling. They're already in the process of getting that.
Yeah, so looking at the legal description, it doesn't look like this was ever a platted lot. It looks like it's a tract, so they sold 2 acres out of the 19 tract 9 CP Albright, 5.79 acres, which probably was a parent to a larger tract. So
right.
I don't think, even if they have a plat map, if it's never been recorded at the county, which that it appears to be the case, then it's irrelevant. They're going to have to go back, have it resurveyed, meet the current standards of platting before it'll get accepted.
Okay, and I'm sure we can do that, and I'm working on another deal that's kind of similar. It's a 60-acre tract. The sellers wanted to sell 12 acres, and so, we marketed it as such, and got the buyer, to end up paying for the survey and the subdivision, So I know that it is possible. I mean, I do have...
Well, that was a different scenario because you're over 10 acres. So in the state of Texas, you can sell a tract and build on it if it's 10.1 acres or greater.
Mm-hmm.
You do not need a survey or a plat. Anything under 10.01 acres requires platting before they'll legally it requires platting before it's conveyed, but that never is enforced. Where it gets enforced is when somebody goes and tries to build on it, and then the county says, hey, hold on, you're not platted. You have to be platted prior to filing for this permit.
Gotcha. Okay.
So that's how that one was different versus the plat. The plat's just a more in-depth. The more in-depth circumstance, deal. They may get away with it if they file it for themselves because it's like, hey, we're a family. We've always had this. We didn't know my mom or brother or whoever owns this one passed, and now we need to sell this one, and we can't until we get it platted. We need a variance. They're your best chance at getting it successfully platted because they've owned it as a family for X amount, whatever. As you, me, or whoever walks in, the county's just going to go, you don't meet our standards. You're going to have to apply for a variance, and they're probably going to go, look, we may or may not be able to, issue it on this property. So, and that's going to be our discouraging factor to any seller at that 140 price point.
Let me think.
So, yeah, all it says, we can certainly get out there and market it. Is there a certain number you need to try to hit on this to, if we dip in under 100, is that, does that eat in too deep to, your cost?
We can't unfortunately go, we can't go all too much lower, because, they need this money, to get a mobile home, like, and that sort of thing. And I know, sellers' needs don't dictate the value of a property.
70, you're not marking up 70 grand on your part. You're
right.
You're just trying to get, you got 10, 15, 20, whatever grand in there. So, we can, I'll put it out there at 140 and we can play it by ear as it comes. And as long as you're comfortable with me marking it, property needs to be platted, prior to construction begins, I'm fine with selling it at $150,000 if somebody brings the offer.
Okay, that'd be great, and like I said, we're in the process of getting it platted now. So if we want to include that the property's in the process, of getting that platted, that'd be great. I'll also
and I want to be very careful with that because if they haven't filed for it, if they're not, I don't know what stage they're in, but if we market it that way, the buyer's going to expect it to be platted. And versus if we don't market it that way and make it appear to be a buyer obligation, even if we get some crazy guy, Hispanic guy, whoever comes by and just says, I'll buy it, I got cash.
Right.
Okay, but you need to know, as long as we make it a clear disclosure, I'm comfortable with it. But if we say that we're going to get it platted, their expectation in the contract is, I won't close until it's platted, and that may produce a greater issue for you.
No, that's a great angle. I hadn't thought about that. I like that approach much better. Let's do it that way. Do you want to try and start let's say 149.9, or I don't know how you usually price it.
I mean, I'm comfortable with whatever. I mean, if you, I'm the easy to work with. If you said I want 300 for this property, I'll put a sign out, but I'll tell you we're never going to get it. So yeah, 149.9 is not a crazy place. We won't get laughed at anyways. You know, it'll be a good place to start. You know, let me give you my cell phone so you can, you know, send me your information, and we can put a listing agreement together and get some marketing going on this for you.
That'd be fantastic. Let me send you a text.
Okay, my cell is 469 236 2131.
2131, and it's Dustin, right?
Uh-huh.
Hey, Dustin.
Yeah, send me your information as, you know, whoever's going to be in control of the contract, and then whatever that LLC or your name, and email for you.
Sure.
Price point, and you know, and I'll get my side worked up.
Wonderful. Well, let me get that to you. I'm gonna send you over the info. If you could send me your email too, I can send you the authorization to list that I got signed as well. That way you could have it for your record. Pardon me. And then yeah, I mean, let's try to get the ball rolling on this as soon as possible. What does your time frame look like? How much time do you think you might need to get a listing together and, you know, get the documents? And
I can get this over to you today, and then tomorrow we can get a sign out. I'll get my drone out there, take some photos, and have it up on MLS probably by the end of the day tomorrow.
That'd be fantastic. I love that. The only other question I got for you, Dustin, if these sellers need a little bit of time, you know, say to get themselves off the property, because their intention is to take the cars and that kind of stuff that they have on that property line to the other line. Do you think that's something that we might be able to negotiate with the third party as well?
Yeah, I mean, certainly. Just, you know, text me and let me know what the expectations on that are going to be. That way when we're getting offers and, you know, people are calling, we can start doing a little negotiation. I've got a good, clear understanding. You know, the easiest way to be successful is when somebody calls, I've got his best information to offer them, and clarity to offer them.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that way it doesn't feel like it's getting in a grind or a bind when things start changing.
Absolutely. Looking to list for 149.900. Okay. Perfect. Well, I sent you my text. Hopefully you got that text.
Yes, John Johnson. Gotcha.
That's me. Yep. And if you said your name, your last name was what?
Jordan.
Dustin Jordan. All right, Dustin. It was a pleasure to meet you, Mr. Jordan. I will. I sent you over the info, and then you just sent me your to list sent over to you.
Perfect.
Yep.
That'll work. I appreciate it, John. Looking forward to working with you.
Likewise, Dustin. It was a pleasure to meet you, man.
You too. Bye, sir.
Bye-bye. Look at that. These are the types of conversations I love to have. That is the A1 agent. I can't speak too soon, but that is the type of guy that I want to work with. He was a go-getter. You know what I'm saying? He's going to put me on the phone. You know, he's ready to go. He's the broker. He's the big dog. He's making the decisions here. And that's the type of person I want to work with. Or taking something away from this. We really do this business. While I was on the phone with that guy, I had another gentleman. Oh, Lord, I got to go back and get his name. Oof, I don't even remember what that guy's name was. I got to... he wants to sell. So I'm going to call him back. Let's try to get him on the phone here. I don't know which system he called me off of. I got to definitely do something about that. Okay, it wasn't 3. Let me try 4. How long did it take for you to talk like this? I mean, the knowledge of how fast and accurate you can answer his questions, etc. Very important question. This didn't happen overnight. You know what I'm saying? This definitely took some time. But what I will say is tapping into the podcast, talking shop, you know, with people that were doing way more than I was, right? And learning from them, community, participating in the conversations that you see in the general chat, hopping into the Clubhouse voice channel, just even listening to these types of conversations, it's like learning a language. and I'm somebody that speaks 3 languages, and I'm self-taught, right? I've learned a couple languages, right? But you want to really make this relevant to real estate with somebody every single day. And for a long time, you know, we had a live call that lasted at least an hour. You had people like Matt Riley coming on here every day and talking shop about all sorts of different properties and situations and sellers. And listening to that will change the way that you think, right? Because you got to think critically. That's the number one thing that is going to differentiate you from everybody else in this industry, is your ability to think critically and solve problems. Don't think that wholesaling real estate or real estate in general is going to be one of these and paste an offer letter and get it sent out to somebody, and the next thing you know, you're going to make one phone call and make 10 grand. You have to develop your ability to think critically and solve people's problems, okay? And that takes time. So give yourself some time, but you know, make this relevant. Listen to all the podcasts that you can. I always suggest. I mean, I was listening to Brent Daniels today interview Josh and Tiffany High. You know, the information is out there. The podcasts are out there. You need to be consuming this content, right? You're asking how often do we do these lives? This is kind of a one-off thing. You know, more recently I've been very focused on just like doing the business, right? We used to do the lives every day, Monday through Friday, but it takes a lot of time to do the lives, a lot of energy, a lot of effort. Whereas, you know, I started to just focus on my business, and that's where, you know, things have really started to take off here. We can try, you know, to do these a little bit more frequently, but I mean, the reality is there's literally thousands of hours of content that's already on the YouTube. So I'm going to drop the link, youtube.com/@REI Revolution. Pardon me. Go sign up to, go subscribe to the YouTube channel. Drop a like on the video, ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching the live right now. When you go to the YouTube, click the live channel, the live button, and you can see all of the live streams that we've hosted. It is fire. You know, there's no scarcity of information. There's no scarcity of what to do. And it's all free. You know, we give everybody the same equal opportunity, you know, to go out and take action. What's going to cost money is your marketing. You have to spend money to get in front of these leads, right? So speaking of leads, I had that guy give me a call. That's right, Mr. Alonzo gave me a call. So let me call Mr. Alonzo back here and see, you know, what property he was looking to sell. He's got, he's got some property in Davidson County. This is Nashville, Tennessee, ladies and gentlemen. These are where the big deals are made, okay? He's got me with the APN number. I'm gonna pull it up. He called me off that campaign. See what I'm saying? I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, sending out these text campaigns, we're going to crush. We got Mr. Matt Riley here. Davidson, stand up. Yes, sir. I'm about to pull it in, pop it into the map real quick, and take a look now and see what are we dealing with. We are dealing with Ooh, interesting lot here. It is zoned R8, so this is residential. By the looks of it, okay, it's literally just 1 acre, but it could be landlocked, so there might have to be an easement that gets made, and that could be, you know, a little difficult. But let's hop on the phone with Alonzo here, and let's give him a call. Let's talk to him and see if we can make something happen.
Yellow.
Hey, Alonzo, this is John Johnson. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. How you doing?
I'm doing well. I appreciate your patience. I was on the other line there. So I wrapped up that call. You gave me a call. I guess we sent a text. It was to your wife about that property in Nashville.
Yes, but you're breaking up. I'm hardly hearing you here again.
Uh-oh. Can you hear me a little bit better now?
Yeah, but you're breaking up. I tell you what. Let me see if we can get a better line. Let me call you. Is this the number? Let me call you back and see if I can get a better line, because I'm just getting bits and pieces of what you're saying.
Okay, let me try to call you on my direct line. This is the office line. Let me see if it's better on the direct line.
That worked.
Okay, is this your number here? This is the best number to call? All right, let me call him on the other line. I think it might be because I'm streaming and I'm doing all this other stuff. So let's see.
Please leave your message for 61.
Yellow.
Hey, Alonzo, can you hear me a little bit better?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, wonderful. Yeah, that was
even though I can even hear myself echoing, but I can hear you better.
Oh, give me 1 second. Let me pop in my headphones here. Okay, was that better now? Can you hear me? Okay, perfect. So I did want to give you a call back there. Now you've got a little over an acre. Is that right here in Nashville? Okay. So I know we sent you the text message, but catch me up to speed. I mean, what's got you in the market to sell? What can you tell me about the property? What? Mm-hmm. Okay. I've got it. Sorry, what were you saying? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now I do have it in front of me, so I am seeing that it does look landlocked. Um, how's your relationship with your neighbors? I mean, do you think we could get an easement made, say if we were to buy it? Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. Okay. And hmm.
But that's what happened with that. But I won't go into that. That's what under the bridge.
That's
Well, it's
what.
not under the bridge in my mind, but yeah.
Well, I hear you. So, you at one point owned, I guess, the land that is now where the church is, and maybe that other lot there, and you chopped it up, or how did you come up with
No,
that?
I owned all of that where the new houses are, plus that behind the church.
Okay. So I guess you own this whole little corner here at one point.
At one point, yes.
I hear you. Okay. And so I'm looking, I see there are two thinner lots, that are right there, and I guess they've got uh, houses there. Um, would it be possible, you think, to get an easement through there?
Now, which one are you looking at? The new houses that was built? What are you looking at?
So I see a 338C Ewing Drive.
Okay, now that is the property I sold.
Okay.
That's next. That's next to the property of the church. That
Yes, sir.
the neighbor that I knew died. I don't know who owns. I don't know who owns that property now, which is right beside there, the
Is
church.
that Mr. Jackson?
Yeah, I did know the Jacksons, but they all gone.
Okay.
Husband, wife, and the daughter, young girl, just died a few months ago. So I don't know who owns that property now.
Did she have any children?
Child she had was a baby. She may not be a baby now. Well, last time I saw that child, it was a baby.
Hmm.
So the daughter did have. I don't know if it was a boy or a girl. I think it was a boy.
Okay. And was she married?
No,
Okay. That could be a little bit of a tricky situation there.
no, she wasn't married.
Now those houses, I guess that would be considered east of that one with Mr. Jackson, or Mr. and Mrs. Jackson there. I believe they built two houses on a rather thin lot.
No, it'd be a 4 houses.
Okay, so they have 4 houses there.
Yeah, there's 4 houses there.
Would it be possible, you think, to negotiate an easement with them since they already have something going there?
Now that may be a possibility. People in the houses. The last house, the 4th house, is the property back there which was connected to my estate. I don't see why easement couldn't be from that to the street where they just built all of those apartments up on the hill, because they just put the street in there.
Okay. So I have it in front of me here. I'm just trying to kind of figure out where, we might propose that easement to go so that it wouldn't be landlocked.
Right.
So I think we got a few options. One of them would be the church. One of them would be, I think, where they built up these new homes. And it doesn't seem like
I can't hear you. I couldn't hear you.
Oh, I was just saying that I think one of the options would be the church. One of the other options might be with these where they built the newer homes, but I don't think that there might be any option there with the Jacksons at this time.
I don't. Like I said, I don't know who it is with the property of the Jacksons. Some old family members. I do know that. As a matter of fact, I used to worship with them. There's some other family members that was members of that Methodist church, but I don't know if they're even still living.
Well, I mean, I know that we're looking at about, you said it was 1.3 acres that's locked there.
Yes.
How much do you think you'd be looking, to get for it?
I was offered $185.5 for it some time ago, and I should have took it.
At that time, was it landlocked, or was that before it was landlocked?
It's the same as it is now. But they wasn't concerned about the landlock, and I didn't find out why. I guess I should have.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm looking at this, I'd look at it, is it possible for me to develop it residentially? And then my biggest concern would be that, yes, it is landlocked. So, I mean, we'd have to have some sort of access to it in order for us, to get financing with our lender from the bank. So, I mean, we would have to figure out, is it possible now, for us to get it unlocked? And then what would that look like?
Oh yeah, I know it can be landlocked now. I know that for a fact. That I do know. And the reason I know that is because I'm the pastor of the church, so I know about how that would work. But if it could be worked with that on the back part of it, that came out behind the new houses would be a plus for me. I know that also.
Well, let me do this. Let me take a look real quick to see. See if I can pull up that house that was right there on Ewing Drive. And I mean, assuming we could come to some sort of agreement here How quickly do you think how quickly do you think you'd be looking to sell? I mean, would you work with us to get enough time for us to, organize that easement with the church? I think that might be the best option, right? Is to go through the church, but even then, I'm pardon me, I'm not so sure how I feel about that going through the church, to get access to the property there.
Yeah, well, going through the church would be on next to the property line. No, I wouldn't. It wouldn't be coming through no church. That it would have to be another drive laid.
Right.
That's what it would have to be. Yeah, exactly.
But I'm looking at it. I mean, there's some trees there. Um, so you know how that can be sometimes. People drawing property lines, not knowing where things are. It could get a little difficult there. I mean, I see a tree that's right in front there. I mean, that probably take it right out.
All of that property back there, I never cleared any trees out of it, even when I was building the church building. So there's trees on the property lines between me and the Jacksons. On the opposite side, cleared the trees out, moved the fence, and then there's trees from the about midway or halfway or almost to the rear of the church line, and my neighbor on the standing looking at the building on the right side, there's trees. There's tree lines that go all the way up to the property.
Okay. I mean, if we could buy it, and we could work with you to get that easement made some way to unlandlock it. I mean, would you work with me on the price a little bit?
Yeah, according how much you talking about working.
I mean, how close do you think you might be able to get to 100,000? A little bit better now?
Yes. Now, what did you say?
Yes, I was asking, how much closer do you think you might be able to get to, say, 100,000?
Oh God, I'm gonna have to. Now, okay, so who would pay for the easements if we use the easement as an egress? Who would pay for that? Because I was gonna have to pay for it.
How much does it cost?
I'm going downtown. I'm gonna talk to. I got a friend out. It's too late now to see what an easement would cost. The distance of that. She's a 3+ acres easement from the street all the way up there. That's what I need to know what it would cost.
Right.
So I need to have a fact of what time it is. He's not in now.
Would you hold for 1 second? I'm getting a call here. I don't know who this is. I gotta see real quick. Could you hold for one moment?
Yeah.
Oh,
all right.
No, never mind. I apologize. They hung up on me. So I mean, we're really looking at it like, what could we really do here? I mean, it's possible, that we could build here, but I mean, logistically, where are we gonna get access? And
I've told you about the access. So actually, if we're gonna wrestle with access, that's premature at this point. I know how to do the access, but now if we're gonna dicker about that, that's no use us talking.
No, I'm not trying to dicker or anything like that. I'm just trying to visualize it. I mean, I got it right in front of me, so I was just looking, in relation to the home, maybe.
Now that may be a possibility in the property next door, because it's the new homes next door. It's all wood. It's back behind.